Hi, mysticism is all about diving deep into those super intense moments when you feel connected with something way bigger than yourself. It could be feeling at one with the universe, getting up close and personal with some kind of divine power, or just tapping into the very heart of reality itself. And the folks who get into these mind blowing states, they are called mystics. Now, mystics are pretty convinced that these wild experiences of theirs are the real deal. They think these moments of ultimate connection are all the proof they need for their spiritual beliefs. But here is where things get spicy. The rational thinkers have been scratching their heads for ages, trying to figure out exactly what counts as a mystical experience. And they're also debating whether these out of this world moments actually give mystics a solid reason to believe what they believe. So, in this chat, we are going to dive into what mystical experiences are all about and whether they are legit enough to back up religious beliefs. So, kicking off with what mystical experiences actually are, think of them as those rare moments when someone feels super connected or even becomes one with something way beyond our everyday grind. We're talking about feeling tied up with the divine or getting a direct line to the core of reality itself. These experiences have this wild trait where it feels like all the usual separation between things just melt away. Imagine being in a state where everything blends together and trying to explain it. Forget about it. That's why folks say these experiences are ineffable. Words just can't do them justice. And then there's this thing about getting all wonky. During a mystical trip, time seems to hit pause, leaving you hanging in what feels like an eternal now. Plus, these experiences aren't just mind boggling, they're often packed with joy and bliss. Diving deeper, we get into two main flavors of mystical experiences. The introvertive kind, which is all happening inside your head with zero sensory input, and the extrovertive kind, where your senses are still in play. Introvertive experiences are like deep dives into your own mind, where you might feel you are touching base with the ultimate reality, like God, but in a totally internal way. Extrovertive experiences, on the other hand, let you see the world around you but with a mystical twist, like seeing God in a sunset, where the sunset is what you see, but God is what you feel. Some folks argue about this idea of pure consciousness, where you're aware but without any specific thoughts or sensations. It's like your mind is on but tuned to a channel that is broadcasting, well, nothing. So critics are like, come on, consciousness always has to be about something. Others are saying, hey, maybe indeed special, tweaked out states of mind, the usual rules don't apply. When mystics talk about hitting up ultimate realities, they are convinced they have got a direct link to the big truths of the universe. It's not like they are piecing together clues from the physical world. They believe they are getting the real deal firsthand. These experiences have a hefty label. They are cognitive, critical, or noetic, which is just a fancy way of saying mystics think they are getting the straight dope directly from the source, no middleman. So while other religious experiences might involve seeing visions, hearing voices, or feeling moved by prayer, mystical experiences are in their own league. They're all about feeling united with or directly experiencing something way beyond the ordinary, which sets them apart from the rest of the spiritual smorgasbord. So you've got folks who have had these wild, mystical moments, right? And they're like, yep, this totally proves my spiritual beliefs are on point. They reckon that just like you trust your eyes and ears to tell you what is up in the world, you can trust these mystical experiences to clue you into some big time spiritual truths. It's like if seeing is believing for the everyday stuff, then feeling that deep mystical connection should count for the godly stuff, shouldn't it? Here is where it gets tricky. Imagine you're trying to get your buddy that you just felt one with the universe or had a chat with the divine in your backyard. They might be like, cool story, bro. How do I know you're not just making it up? That's the snag. Your regular senses, seeing, hearing, touching, they've got this feature where others can check if you are on the money. Like, hey, see the plane? And everybody looks up and goes, yep, there it is. With mystical experiences, it's all you. There's no, hey, see that overwhelming oneness with the cosmos, because it's your solo journey. Yet, the mystics have a comeback. They say, hold up, you've got ways to get these experiences. Spiritual mentors or holy books can give a thumb up and say, yeah, what you felt matches with the biggest spiritual truths we know about. Plus, there is this vibe check called the fruits test. It's like about looking at what comes after the mystical moment. Did the person become more zen, more kind, more tuned into the good stuff? If so, maybe there's something legit to their experience. So that is the scoop. Mystical experiences are throwing out some big questions about what counts as real, especially when it comes to the spiritual side of life. Alright, let's dig into this. Skeptics are throwing shade because, let's face it, not everyone is hitting up these mystical experiences like they do their daily dose of Instagram. These mystical moments are kind of elite, needing some serious Zen mode or years of chilling in meditation to maybe, just maybe, get a sneak peek of the divine. Here is the thing, even in the regular world, getting the real vibes of, say, a fine wine or the depth of a masterpiece painting takes a bit of learning, right? And hey, some folks just stumble into these mystical vibes without even trying. Plus, this isn't just a here and now deal. People from all over the map and throughout history have been tapping into these experiences. In the past, much more than now. But here's the thing, you can't just snap your fingers and have a mystical moment. It's more like those experiences choose you, not the other way around. Think of it as the universe of whatever is out there deciding to drop in for a visit. You've got to be in the right headspace, like ditching your ego at the door to really get the invite. Moving on, there's this whole debate about whether we are cooking up these mystical experiences based on what we've already got simmering in our belief pot. Like, if you're all about Jesus, you're not likely to have a sudden cameo by Krishna during your mystical moment. Critics argue that maybe we're just seeing what we already believe in. But plot twist. Sometimes these mystical experiences throw curveballs that totally go against what someone was expecting. So maybe there's more to the story than just replaying our spiritual playlist. And then we've got the brainiacs who say, hold up, it's all in your head. They reckon that these wide spiritual rides are just your brain doing its thing, with no actual hotline to the divine. But here's a thought. What if whatever is out there, like some cosmic DJ, is spinning the tracks through our brains? Just because our gray matter is the dance floor doesn't mean there's not a divine hand dropping the beats. So there you have it, folks. The Mystical Experience mixtape from the VIP access issue to whether we are crafting our own spiritual soundtracks. And the big question, is this all divine radio? Or are we just loving the sound of our own brain waves? Mystical experiences keep us guessing, and maybe that's part of the magic. And there we have it, friends. A walk along the tightrope between the known and the unknown. My heart beats for science, for the concrete and the proven. Yet, my mind remains ajar to the whispers of the unseen. To me, this journey isn't about choosing sides, but embracing the full spectrum of human curiosity. The universe is vast and mysterious, filled with more questions than answers. While my compass points towards the empirical and the proven, I acknowledge the vastness of what we don't know. Yes, mysticism often ventures into territories that my scientific roadmap doesn't cover. But I don't shy away from gazing into the depths of both. After all, the beauty of exploration lies not in the destination, but in the breadth of our journey. Our pursuit of knowledge isn't just about accumulating facts. It's about expanding our understanding, pushing boundaries, and yes, keeping our minds open to the myriad ways of experiencing this beautiful and unimaginably vast universe. Stay curious, embrace the questions, and let's weave our way through this complex panorama of existence together. Who knows, maybe one day, in the midst of the mundane, the mystical will tap you on the shoulder, offering a glimpse into the extraordinary. And if that happens, please do share that with me. So think about it, stay open and curious, and we'll meet next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.